Good day, everybody. I'm Sister Jenny. Welcome to Sister Jenny Burn Foundation.
Hi everybody, my name is Lilo Lolo and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the Sister Jenny Burn Foundation. Today I would like to introduce you to Mr. Emens Kganane, and he has won this legendary award for being a firefighter. So I would like him to introduce himself more. Welcome, Mr. Kganane.
My name is Emens Kganane. I'm a fireman and paramedic. I'm so happy to join. I'm so happy to be part of Sister Jenny Burn Foundation. We like to teach people about fire so that this incident of people die through fire, burn through fire, and we have three elements make fire to burn. To prevent those fire, you must separate those three elements to make fire to burn. We have oxygen, we have heat, and we have fuel. Once you can separate those three elements, you won't have fire in your premises, and also children, they won't burn. Even people, they won't able to be involved in a fire, and also the companies, they will save their properties. And we have things that they cause fire. First of all, I want to mention that we have 5 different classes of fire. People, they should know about that, because if fire department calls concerning fire, they ask you some question. We have class A fire. We have 5 elements make fire to burn. We have class B fire, which is a flammable liquid. We have class C, which is electric fire. We have class D, which is metal fire. We have class E, which is flammable gases. Those things you have to know to separate them. If once you know which fire is burning, people, they will be safe. Now I want to proceed where I stop, and I want to tell you about class A fire. Class A fire is an ordinary burning material. You can use water if it falls under class A. You can use it can be soil. And class B is a flammable liquid fire. Flammable liquid fire, it involves petrol, paraffin, diesel, spirit, etc. Those falls under class class B. Class C is a live electricity. Live electricity is when the current is on. If the current is off, you can still use water on that, because electricity is a good conductor of electricity. So you mustn't use water on a live electricity fire, because it's going to reflect the current on your body. And we have a metal fire. Like if maybe the aluminium is burning, if you put water in that aluminium, you are going to have a massive explosion. If there is a steel that is burning, don't use water. It's also going to be explosion. You must use a scent or a special powder to extinguish that. And we have flammable gases. Flammable gases falls under LPG and acetone and whatsoever. It falls under gases, which is class E. That class flammable liquid, those are the one, it happens in Boksburg. the truck was carrying the flammable gas, and once it get an ignition, the static spark. For instance, you are wearing a plastic shoes, or you walk on a carpet, you touch the door, you'll feel something as if something is electricity is choking you. That is a static spark, which is dangerous also. If you have such gases in your house, that it can cause fire, can cause explosion. So in those classes, try to know what is burning. If firefighters they arrive, you must tell them how long the fire was burning, because there will be any gas. And don't use water in a boiling oil, because it's going to turn into steam. The water is going to go under the oil, and it will splat in your face, and when you try to run, you are going to sleep and you are going to burn. You don't have a chance to run because it's an oil. There's no movement once you put oil and you put water in the oil, burning oil. Never try to put water if you are doing chips and that pan of chips start burning, and just get a blanket, cover that flame, and you won't have any fire. But once you try to put water in there, it's just the same like flammable liquid. You put water in the flammable liquid, it's going to spread out, it's going to run through inside your house, it's going to run inside the drains. The flammable is going to be on top of water. You won't extinguish fire, flammable liquid with water. Don't try to do that. There's also going to be explosion, because people they try to extinguish burning oil with water. Is where incident comes. And people they must try to avoid their children to play with matches. They must avoid people must avoid children to play with electric kettle, and they must try to avoid the children to even you as an adult, don't let your cables to run on the because children are going to trip and pull the kettle or boiling kettle on top of their body. So okay, let me just rest a little bit. To add on, in your kitchen you can have a bucket of sand, or you can use the cake flour, because that one it smother the flammable vapor that comes from the burning oil. So if it is electricity, you can switch off the DB box. Before you do anything, switch off the DB box. Try to fight fire. Try to be on the safe side first. Don't risk yourself and try to fight fire while you are at the back of the stove. Be on the safe side. Switch everything off, and if there is electricity, switch it off, the DB box. You can use the CO2 if there is an electric fire that is burning. The electric itself is only the plastic that is burning. The electric itself, the cable is not burning. It burns the plastic that is cover that electricity, cover that cable. those are the ones that are burning. And if you are working in the kitchen, try not to wear silk material. Try to wear something like a wool to eliminate, to try to prevent your body to burn severely. If you find yourself you are on fire, please remove all your child inside the building, because you cannot replace your child, but the building you can replace it. So try to remove, to evacuate the. If your house is burning, please remove your children out of that danger. Remove them outside and try to fight the fire while your children are safe. Because if your child burns, or one of your family or the old lady is in the house, remove them first before the fire is getting out of control. And also, if you phone fire department, if you cannot handle the fire, just call them. Don't try to fight the fire while you know that you cannot handle the fire. Move out, call the fire department, they will come and do the rest. And if there is a gas cylinder that is burning inside the house, you must use dry powder or close the valve, because, or otherwise, if you can able to drag the cylinder outside, put it outside, leave it to burn, because once the gas is burnt, the cylinder will be empty. There will be no explosion, there will be nothing to harm you. Leave it to burn there. Fire department, they will come and cool the cylinder so that it mustn't explode. So to close the valve, that is the main, doesn't help to extinguish the fire while the cylinder is inside the house, the gas is leaking, and you won't help anything. Remove the cylinder. If you cannot remove the cylinder, close the valve. That is how the gas will come off. It will die. The fire will die once you close that flammable gas. You close that valve, then you won't have any fire to proceed.
Emens, you've taught us so much about preventing fire and burns. I just want to ask you a few questions. Is that okay?
Yes. Fine.
You mentioned the classification. You said the first one was water, the second one was oil. Can you explain, when you say classifications, is this what you use to prevent the fire? Just give a little bit more information.
When we talk about classification, it means class A is an ordinary combustible material.
Yeah.
It doesn't involve electricity, it doesn't involve flammable liquid, it doesn't involve flammable gases. It's just an ordinary, it's where you use water.
So you're going to use water to put out the fire, is that what you're actually saying?
Yes. Yeah.
So class A is where you put out the fire using water.
Yes, you use
and
water.
Let's go back to that classification. What kind of fires do you use water?
All classes, like live electricity, you cannot use water. It's a very good conductor of electricity. It's going to shock you.
So you won't use water for electricity?
Don't use water. We don't recommend people to use if they don't understand.
And gas, can you use water?
You won't able to extinguish water. Gas with water. Even
So,
the petrol, you cannot use water to extinguish.
Okay.
Yes.
So which fires do you use water?
The class A, ordinary combustible material. We're talking about the carpets. We're talking about the lounge suite.
A lounge suite, yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the plank. We're talking about the grass. Is where.
So normal things, not fire, not electricity, not gas and not fuel.
Yes.
So anything else except gas, fuel,
Fuel
and
and
electricity. So you use water.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
also, if you switch off the electricity, you switch off the main switch, you can still use water because there's no more current in that fire.
Okay.
Once you switch it off, you can use water. But we are talking about live electricity. When you talk about live electricity, it means the current still on.
Running through.
Yeah,
it,
still on. Yes.
Okay, I understand. And then you also mentioned that we must switch off the gas. We must turn the gas
The valve.
off, the valve.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
if I'm going to touch the valve, I'm going to burn my hand. So what do I do in that case?
It all
My
depends.
cylinder's standing here, and I've remembered Emens from Sister Jenny Burn Foundation told me to switch off the valve. But now, how do I do that?
In fact, when the fire occurs, maybe there is a stove there. It's where that supply cable, supply pipe of gas start burning there. Leave those things, go to the cylinder, it will be still cold. You can use your hand. Maybe the cylinder is outside. Just rush outside, close the valve, then you won't have any fire. But if it's burning right at the valve, you must get a glove to try to...
Like an oven glove. Now, let's say I haven't got an oven glove. What else can I use instead of an oven glove?
If you don't have an oven glass, just get something like a blanket.
A lappy, dishcloth, anything like a
Yeah, but
material.
it should be thicker because that valve, sometimes it can melt.
So
Once,
something thick
yeah, something thick so that your hand
doesn't burn.
doesn't burn. And if the valve is bent off, try to move that cylinder outside. Leave it burn.
And can you roll the cylinder?
No, don't roll it. Once you roll it, it can also come to your side
Catch
because
on fire on me.
yeah, it won't go straight because the fire is spreading. Try to lean the cylinder, pull the cylinder from the bottom and pull it outside.
Pull it from
Leave
the
it.
bottom.
Yeah, leave it there.
And would you suggest I have a fire blanket next to my stove?
Yeah, if you have fire blanket, then you can just close that valve. But if the valve is bent, then it means that cylinder must take it outside. Let it bend, that gas must go.
If it's heavy, there's no way I can roll it on the floor.
No, just a report. If it's heavy, you cannot carry it.
Just leave it and run.
Just leave it and run.
And I like what you said about taking your children out first. Because I've had experience where my kids were in the house and the house was burning. And I was trying to put out the fire and suddenly I realized I better get the kids out first. Even if the house burns, you can replace the house, you can't replace the children.
Yeah, that when even if you call us as a firefighters, we have to evacuate the building before we start fighting the fire. We get into each and every room to search whether there's still somebody hiding inside of that room. Take them out before you start fighting the fire. Don't try to fight the fire while people they are inside. You must remove everybody inside the building. They can be conscious, they can be dead, they can be what, all those people they must be
They must be removed
from the building.
building before we
Then-
even try.
Before
And
you
when
can-
there's a lift in a building, must you use the stairs?
The stairs also, if it's outside stairs, you find that the fire starts from the bottom to the top floor. Then if you start from the bottom to the top floors, when I was training people, we're having a jumping mat where we put it outside. Each and every one jump to that
To the
jumping mat.
So you
Yes.
mustn't use the stairs, or you must use the stairs instead of the lift.
The lift is more dangerous because it's using electricity.
Yeah.
The lift is using electricity. Once it starts burning, the lift, it will
It's going
trap,
to fall down, yeah.
it will trap you. Even if it doesn't fall, it will trap you inside. It won't open. You will burn inside of that lift.
So just an idea, would you suggest you sit on like a carpet and slide down the stairs? Would that work, or is it too dangerous?
It all depends on how distance from
How
the
far
top,
it is,
how
yeah.
far it is. But
Say you've got a sick person and you want to evacuate them. How would you get them out of the, if there's now steps?
Yeah,
You've got
no.
your old gogo and you want to get him down the stairs.
on the stairs is an emergency exit. The smoke, they can still assist that person from the smoke. But if it's inside the building, the stairs from the inside the building, the smoke is too heavy and it's too toxic, and there is a toxic fumes and vapor density. It will cover the whole building. People, they will be standing. Something that you feel is 25% that you feel when you are standing outside when the building is burning. It's only 25% of the heat. The 75% is within the building.
Sure. that's
Right
terrible.
inside, it triple times.
It's so much more inside.
Yeah, because it cannot go anywhere. That's why sometimes the glasses start breaking.
So
Because
now just say, God forbid, you've got your old gogo, she's in the building. How am I going to get her out?
just try to use it staircases.
I must use the stairs,
Use the not a lift.
not a lift.
Not a lift.
Can I wrap her like in a carpet and pull her down the stairs?
Yeah, if you can, but sometimes you
Say
cannot.
she can't walk now,
You can put it on a carpet, put it and
and slide her down.
slide it downwards, and you will be safe from that area.
Thank you, Emens. You've been absolutely wonderful. And we'd like to learn more from you. We'd like to invite you again to give us more information on how to prevent fire at work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.